Very well.
Not as windy. Oh, it's not windy. That's not as bad.
It's actually like really big. Yeah, everyone, you're walking down
We're
that.
gonna go over this way. Over here. You face it out like that. Put her in the middle. The wind is like, I feel like it's gonna knock you over. I feel it too. My hands are like, oh, I know. Oh my gosh.
Okay, when I step back, it's not because I want us to step back, it's so that we're like angled at the road, so you guys can read it as they come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other fellow can go the same level.
I'm just like,
Got him.
we put on every.
Hey,
There we go. I think this is our spot. Should we keep? I don't know. Oh, wait, there is.
Good one. And one more. There you go. Look, I'm gonna give you two. You sure?
Hey guys, just in case you're wondering what's going on, this is Matthew Purdy of Breitbart News. We are outside, right outside of DC, where pro-life demonstrators are lining up to show their support for life. It's cold as heck out here, so you'll see people very, very, very bundled up. And so I'm just going to show you everything we got here.
Feet away, back up. Hey.
We don't want to win.
We need to be 4 feet away from the road at all times.
Government sucks.
Yes. How do we stand still?
I don't know. Okay. No, it's okay. I know. I heard someone say that or something. But I didn't do America in college. I originally took the whole day off for
my first time turning up here.
and then when I
Oh,
got
really?
home,
I actually had to go turn around because I thought that was a roadblock.
might as well go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then I
Shoot,
just kept
so I
taking
went
the
all
whole
the way
day
there,
off.
had to
So
make
this
a
is done at 11. Like I'm just gonna go home and hang out. I wasn't supposed to be able to get off work for this, and then last night work started to go really slow. I was like, hey, try this one.
Yeah.
Why do I think really?
These shoes are so light.
Came up, our neighbor, our next door neighbor.
Since you're at the very end, could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Could you just maybe go, maybe even to the right?
Like
Yeah.
We gotta sit down. There's rocks all the way like that side.
Sure, this would be perfect.
Yeah, we could walk up.
Right here?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine, okay. Ready? You want to try right here? So, are they going to move down any further? There you go. I guess we could be close together because we're all family.
Crossed off Mary Ann's head. Yeah.
Probably.
After I try to
Theodore, sit. Good boy. They're very good. They're very hard. But I have like ab lines for the first time in my life. So I'm not taking them. There'll be a lot of people like that that are willing to be involved.
So maybe she's like, help you. Hi.
How you doing?
Good. Happy to have you here. Thank you for coming.
No, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So, with that, so I belong.
Are you all from this diocese?
No,
You're not? Okay.
we're from State.
Okay, I'm glad I know you're like from the diocese. You look familiar though. Good to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too.
We're all going to jail for not wearing masks. And they make it illegal on the national scale not to wear masks. And then they're going to retroactively persecute people. They're going to retroactively charge people.
Thank you.
Back down. Back down.
Which one?
Matt.
No, probably not.
I can split over. No, I can share with you so you can keep one thing in
What
your
happened
pocket. You didn't take my car.
Of course. Thank you guys for coming. These vlogs are not the greatest. You're probably used to the cold though, huh?
I came down
You're
and it's
a pro?
snowing and 15 degrees when I
Oh
left.
my god. Thank you.
They're hard to open.
We like Breitbart.
Thank you.
Yeah, where's Alex Marlowe?
How are we feeling? How are we feeling?
I know, Trump's dead, isn't it?
Hey.
We're good down here.
Can I ask what brings you guys out here today?
Protect the babies. Remove exceptions. All life, all the time.
And if you had the chance to speak with someone who calls himself pro-choice, what would you say to them?
Well, I always ask people, look, would you support a law that would authorize rape victims to pay someone to kill their rapist or just their innocent child? Because that's what abortion is. Abortion is paying an assassin to kill someone. And can you imagine how upset men would be if suddenly they knew in the Me Too age that a woman could just say she's raped and he could be killed with no trial? But that's exactly what happens to an innocent child.
1 second. Okay, go ahead.
Can you imagine in the Me Too day and age how outraged men would be if women were allowed to just say they were raped and then they could pay someone to have him killed? But that's exactly what happens with abortion. But the innocent child gets killed, no trial, no say, nothing. And I ask people, you know, punish rapists, not babies. Here, where's their sign? Yeah. You know, and abortion affects generations. My birth mother tried to kill me at 2 illegal abortions, but the law protected me just 4 years before Roe versus Wade in Michigan. And now I have, you know, generations that will go on because we were protected. Legality matters.
It wasn't my fault that my mother was raped. And I'm glad that she chose life for me, and I also have a generation that I have born that get to live because I'm here. So
Great. And can I just get your first name?
Rebecca.
And where are you from?
I'm from Michigan, and I'm with Save the One.
Got it. SaveTheOne.com right there, right?
Yeah, and
Great. And
I'm Karina.
could you just tell us your perspective on this? If you could speak personally to someone who was who calls himself pro-choice, how would you approach them, or what would you say to them? We'll wait for the plane to stop flying over. What's your first name?
I'm Christy, and I'm from Minnesota.
Okay, it's K-R...
C-H-R-I-S-T-Y.
Got it. And Rebecca, how do you spell your first name, by the way?
Rebecca.
Got it.
I would say to them, abortion is mean and abortion kills, and you should be pro-life with no exceptions.
Tell them how you spell your name.
Carina.
Great. Where are you guys based out of? What area? What state?
We're from Michigan, from the Detroit area.
Oh, cool.
But our organization is global. We have over 1,000 who were conceived in rape and mothers from rape.
Well, God bless you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me just get these your sign real quick. Close up here. There we go. All right, and I get these. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Always. Now, you guys can't really hear him very well, but we actually have a protester. We have one sole protester protesting the pro-life crowd here. He's very socially distant at the moment. Though he does have a megaphone.
Are you with Breitbart? Very cool. Love your site.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. Can you help them with their banners? Yeah. We are the pro-life generation. You ready?
The pro-life generation! We are 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 the pro-life generation!
Wait, is it even like, I sound like I'm 5 years old.
No, they're not strong. So the closest we can get to is like right by the, there's like a Marriott right there. You know the Black Lives Matter, like yellow.
So we're live right now. So maybe you want to talk about...
At the end of that road.
So tell us about why you guys are all here today.
Yes, we are here to stand for life, and it's not just in Washington, D.C. We are in 18 different cities across the nation because the pro-life generation is everywhere. We will continue to show up despite the cold, despite the rain, in all of these different places. We are there because we understand that abortion is the greatest injustice of our time, and we will do anything we can to stand up and fight and speak up for the preborn. So as you see, we have so many people from the pro-life gen here to unite for this important issue.
And so... We'll give it a second.
You're good.
Roe v. Wade has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Roe v. Wade has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Roe v. Wade has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Roe v. Wade has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Roe v. Wade has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Roe v. Wade has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Roe v. Wade has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho!
I don't know what I'm doing.
So I'm actually a senior this year. Yeah. I used to go to
Actually, I was just.
All right.
Oh, wait,
Actually, you know what, Greg? I'm thinking about it, and if we're at a sign that is directed towards here, the words are backwards.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah.
We were very disappointed we couldn't watch this year, but we wanted to have as close to DC as we could get. One thing we are asking, you guys have to okay, just because we want the story not to be about it. You a this year?
Okay, great. So, tell us about the conversation that you have with people who call themselves pro-choice.
Yeah, so I think the first thing that we need to do is kind of just figure out where we stand, right? And so I think when we're talking to people who are pro-choice, my first question is why? You know, what is your reasoning behind that? And then kind of walking the line. I've had a lot of conversations where we get to a place where we find common ground. You know, other people are maybe more radical than others. And so my intention when going into a conversation with somebody is always kind of figuring out what makes them pro-choice, you know, whether it's their personal story or whether it's because they don't know that life begins at conception. And so really just nailing that down and then having a conversation from there. And I think it's important to go into conversation not necessarily for the goal of converting them, right? Because if that's your only goal, you're gonna find yourself frustrated because a lot of it is relationship and starting that conversation and getting people to think and encouraging them to do research. Because I believe that if you really do kind of strive to figure out what is scientific, it's going to lead you to the pro-life movement because pro-life is pro-science because we know life begins at conception. So that's always kind of my goal is just finding common ground, starting a conversation and building a relationship with that person.
How do you think Trump handled the pro-life cause?
Yeah, a lot of people say that he's the most pro-life president we've ever seen, you know, in the ways that he defunded Planned Parenthood through Title X, you know, and other ways. There's a lot of things that he did for the pro-life movement. He was the first president to ever speak at a March for Life, which is huge. And having that support from the administration was so encouraging. Although now we may feel like it's a little bit more uphill battle than it was when Trump was in office, the pro-life generation is going to continue to do all that we can to speak up for life and abolish abortion.
And tell us a little bit about the current administration. What are your current concerns regarding the pro-life cause with when you have the White House is run by the left by Joe Biden right now as president, and then we also have a congressional House majority for Democrats and 50-50 split for the Senate.
Yeah, like I said, it feels intimidating and an uphill battle. You know, I think the things that we're most concerned about is, first of all, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have one of the most extreme stances on abortion that exist. And that doesn't align with most Americans. Even Democrats, most people and most Americans don't believe in abortion up to 9 months with no restrictions. So I think it's important to recognize that his stance doesn't even align with what most Americans believe in. Second of all, you know, in going forward, there's a lot of policies that we're worried about. For example, the Hyde Amendment and him repealing that, you know, way back when he actually supported the Hyde Amendment and now he wants to repeal it. And what that means is that taxpayers are going to be paying for abortion. So people who have moral convictions, people who don't support abortion are now going to be forced to pay for abortions. And that's huge. And again, something that most Americans don't even support. And so I think that that's what's most scary is he's so radical that it's going to take a lot. And the pro-life generation has a lot of work ahead of us.
If you had the chance to speak directly with Joe Biden right now, what would you say to him?
That's a really interesting question. I've actually never been asked that. I think, first of all, you know, just having that conversation on let's look at the statistics and let's look at what most Americans believe and let's look at what science says. He says that he is a science believing person. Well, what about the science that says there's life in the womb? Let's start there. Let's have a conversation about when life begins. And if we are able to nail that down and say life begins at conception, then what? You know, if he wants to protect Americans and be a voice for all Americans, that must include the preborn. So I think for me, I would ask him, you know, are you a science believing person? And if so, why don't you believe the science that life begins in the womb?
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
What is your first name?
My name is Autumn Lindsay. I'm the student spokesperson for Students for Life of America.
Great. Can you just, we'll look it up again. Can you just spell your first name?
Yeah, AutumnLindsey.
Great.
Awesome.
We're live right now, so.
That's
we're very
fantastic.
crazy
Yeah,
about this.
great. Woo!
Real quick though. Right here. I'll just give me a second here.
I can get that for you.
Let's go full Black Lives Matter and just block the highway.
Oh my god. I mean, I'm down. Let's do it.
I feel like the message on our sign's hard to read. We need to script it out.
Yeah. I think we need to bring it this way.
Here. Let's not move too far.
No, she's coming too far.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. So, what's your first name?
My name's Lauren. I'm the Northeast Regional Coordinator with Students for Life, and we're out here for the Life Chain today out in Arlington, Virginia.
Great.
Yes.
And so, what do you think of the current administration we have in the White House today?
Yeah, you know, the current administration is definitely a disappointment to any human rights movement, but with any human rights movement, we understand that there are going to be setbacks, and that doesn't change the mission, that doesn't change what we're here doing. Who is in office has nothing to do with what our mission is and what we want to get accomplished. We want to see abortion made illegal and unthinkable. And right now, unthinkable is a lot of what we're focusing on with helping women, regardless of who is in office. We can always be down hands-on on the streets and making an impact with women, showing them that we're here and we have support for them. So that's what we're focusing on a lot this administration.
And so, do you feel like Trump helped the pro-life movement, and if so, how so?
Absolutely. I mean, we all know about the pro-life bills he got passed and supported and everything in legislation, but also with all the justices that were appointed. A lot of people have their own opinions on what it did for the whole pro-life movement as a whole. But I choose to look at all the justices that were appointed and all the things that are going to impact us in the future that he did for us.
And so, if you had to speak with Joe Biden,
yeah,
you had the opportunity, what would you say to him?
I think I definitely focus on the pro-life movement. Ask why, if you are so...
Well, we'll give it a second. They're chanting.
Yes, just give it a second. It's getting a little...
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
No, so I'll ask you
Yes.
again. If you had
Thank
the
you.
chance to speak with Joe Biden, what would you say to him?
I think my number one question would be if
how can you justify taking away human rights from humans in the womb, you know? Human rights begin in the womb. We know that there is humanity in preborn children, and stripping them of their right to life, that's just the greatest human rights violation of our time. And so I would want to ask him, how can you justify that?
Great. And do you get to talk with many people who are pro-choice and have a conversation about your stance on life?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, at events like this is more about rallying, showing our support, but my favorite part of my job is having those conversations with people with pro-choice views, because I personally used to be pro-choice, and so I understand the mindset behind it, and I understand just the gravity of these situations and how difficult it can be to weigh women's rights versus preborn rights and seeing them as if they're opposite things, you know? So I understand the gravity of that, and I love getting to talk with people about that situation.
Great. And where'd you say you were from?
I'm the Northeast Regional Coordinator for Students for Life, so that's New York and New Jersey.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a lot of work that can be done over there in terms of the pro-life cause.
Absolutely, and I'm happy to do it.
So, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you for being out here today. Thanks for
an
everyone
honor.
who's watching.
It's a lot of fun. God bless you.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anti-abortion. The future is anti-abortion. The future is anti-abortion. The future is.
Hey, you ready? Okay, here we go. So, what's your name, miss?
My name is Amaya, and I'm with Students for Life, the Centerville Region Group.
Great. And so, what brings you out here today?
I am out here to stand for life, to show that every life is valuable. This administration that's in office right now is anti-life. They are for abortion, and that should not be the norm. That should not be what our culture is about.
And yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit. Yeah, let's give it a second here, because there's some megaphones here.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Roe v. Wade has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho.
Let's move a few feet away.
Hey, ho, ho. Roe v. Wade has got to go.
Okay, here we go. So, if you had a chance to speak directly with Joe Biden, the new president of the United States, what would you say to him?
I would say that Joe Biden is a professing Catholic. As a person of faith myself, you aren't being pro-life. You aren't being true to your faith, and you aren't showing that life is valuable, even though you say so. So things need to change in our country for it to get better. And it starts in the womb.
And so, how long have you been fighting for the pro-life cause?
I started going to the Marches for Life in high school, and when I graduated, I found a pro-life group near me, and it actually dissolved rather quickly because everyone graduated, and then my sister started the group in our region. So for about 2 years, we've been doing lobbying and marches and stands and just everything we can to be out here as a voice for the voiceless.
Have you always been pro-life?
Yes, I was raised pro-life. In high school, in a public school, it was a very controversial stand, and I couldn't imagine why. So my main thing is educating people about what abortion really is, because I feel when people understand that, that's when minds are changed.
And so, how do you approach those conversations? I mean, you're a young lady, and you have, you said you're in public school probably not too long ago. I mean, how do you, as someone who grew up, as you say, pro-life, how do you approach someone that calls himself pro-choice?
So usually, the best way to change hearts is to have a really personal conversation with someone. So it usually just starts with me posting on social media. And one of my friends will reach out to me and be like, hey, I'm pro-choice. I don't understand why you're doing this. And it really comes from a place of compassion and care when I talk to people. And I'm like, hey, I care about you. So I want you to know why this is important to me and why it should concern you as well. And when you get into those deep conversations and you really start connecting with people and you show that compassion that we show, that's when hearts and minds are really changed.
Do you receive any harassment for your views?
Oh, all the time. Usually at these events, like today, there's always some sort of counter-protest. There's usually someone swearing or spitting, disgustingly enough. But you know, at the end of the day, it's all about the babies, and I can't think of anything that's worth it.
Can you just spell your first name again?
Amaya, Amaya.
And great. And what area are you in?
I'm in Centerville, Virginia.
Great. Well, listen, thank you so much. God bless you, and thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
God bless.
Stay warm out there.
You too.
Yeah.
Do you need anyone else to interview?
Yeah. You ready?
Okay. Is it right here good?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Great. So what's your first name?
Hey, my first name is Mary Logan.
Great. And can you just spell your first name?
Yep. MARY-LOGAN.
Great. And let's go a couple of feet that way so we can hear you a little better. That's good. And so what brings you here today?
What brings me here today is with the news of a new administration, we wanted to share that we are the pro-life generation, and we are here for everyone until they have the right to freedom, right, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And so, how do you feel like the Trump presidency came to a close a little bit over a week ago now? How do you feel he did with the pro-life cause?
With Trump? Okay. So Trump was definitely a pro-life warrior for us. We don't always agree with everything he says, but he definitely persuaded everything and pursued the pro-life movement even further by passing pro-life legislation like heartbeat bills and protecting them in the womb. And he has always made that a priority. And so we have the full of most respect for him and acknowledging that life always starts in the womb so that everyone has a chance and opportunity to speak up. We love that he had given us the encouragement to do so, and it made our movement bigger.
And so, if given the opportunity to speak with the new president, Joe Biden, what would you say directly to him?
My advice to Joe Biden is if he is a Catholic, he needs to practice that. He also says that he believes in science. If he really does believe in science, he needs to believe that life begins at conception.
Great. And so, how do you approach people who are pro-choice or call themselves pro-choice? Because I'm assuming that you run into a lot of those being as young as you are.
Normally how I would handle it is always with love. I never want to be disrespectful in any way. I always listen and I ask lots of questions. I want my point to get across, but I also want to listen, but then also advocate for my side as best as I can.
And so we're in Virginia right now, and there's a governor here who isn't exactly with the pro-life cause. What would you say to him, given his stance on abortion and you can even say infanticide, some would say?
Right. I would say that if you're a governor in a position in government authority, you need to defend the Constitution to every right. The Constitution says that every citizen has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, so that must be protected for everyone in this country and in the state of Virginia.
Great. Well, listen, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And stay warm out here, all right?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
We are the pro-life generation. We will abolish abortion. We are the pro-life generation, and we will abolish abortion. We are the pro-life generation. We will abolish abortion.
Yeah.
We will abolish abortion. We are the pro-life generation, and we will abolish abortion. We
What was yours? Huh? What was the change?
Are they in? Hey guys, do you want to be swapped out? So we have some more people to help. If anyone needs a break. Does anyone need to be swapped out?
Yes, girl, yes.
Guys, do any of you need to be swapped out? Give you guys a break.
Thank you.
Are you good, bro? Women deserve better.
Abortion for trans women.
Women deserve better.
Abortion for trans women.
Women deserve better.
Abortion for trans women.
Women deserve better.
Abortion for trans women. Abortion for trans women.
Women deserve better.
Abortion for trans women.
Women deserve better.
Abortion for trans women.
Women deserve better.
Abortion. Yeah.
It's like their fucking rules. I guess that's explained good enough. We're able to afford to have dog coach without me. Yeah, it must have been. Alright, this is okay. Okay, is that alright?
Alright guys, I'm just going to be switching the battery real quick, so you're going to see it black, but that just means I'm switching the battery, so stand by. Great, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally it takes 15 to 20 minutes for this.
I get excited for the camera, guys. Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Adoption. Come on.
Yes, I haven't used it in high school because I was in college. No. And yeah.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Wondering if there was anything current.
I looked at the.
Oh, and I love your mask.
Oh, thank you.
I have a black lip.
I'm not even going to tell you about the life chain. I'm like, just stay home with your babies.
How you doing?
This is so exciting.
Thanks.
From St. James, the horns.
I need to do this.
I'm from Nashville.
How's it going?
Hello, good, how are you?
Good. It's a fight right there holding that up.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, how's it going? Good.
Good to see you.
Familiar face. Let's go over to the side so we can hear you a little better.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, it's whatever you prefer. I don't mind.
Sometimes it's hard
You're
to
good.
hear.
Yeah, I can't hear you with that.
I can just like hold it down. Okay.
Some people can speak really loud.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So how you doing?
Good. We're good. We're out here for our big. What was our March for Life in DC day, but now we're doing it here in Arlington.
Great. So, tell us about what you guys are doing out here today and how you guys are demonstrating.
So our live action team is out here today because we acknowledge that 62 million lives have been lost.
Hold on, 1 second. You were saying?
So the live action team is out here today to commemorate and memorialize and remember the 62 million lives that have been lost to abortion since the passage of Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade legalized abortion in our country, and we've lost so many children, so many men and women have been hurt. So we came out here today to be a positive, powerful, peaceful presence for life, so that people know being pro-life is the human rights initiative of the future, of right now, and it's worth it to save lives. It's worth it to be outside in 25-degree weather to speak up for those who can't speak for themselves.
Now that the Trump presidency has come to a close, how do you think he did with the pro-life cause?
Yeah, President Trump had some great pro-life policies. President Biden is undoing them right now, but administrations will come and go. We don't wait on Washington to take action for life. We don't wait on Washington or rely on any political party to do everything we can to save every preborn life. And so we're showing that today. We're doing this across the country. We've got local rallies all over the country. Other groups do as well. But the pro-life community knows administrations are going to come and go. The way you save lives is you change hearts and minds on abortion through education, and you go and you are present in your community at your pregnancy resource center. You make sure people know that you're pro-life, you're there to support them if they're in an unplanned pregnancy, and that you know the truth about abortion and the abortion industry, and you're going to talk about it. It's not enough to be privately pro-life. It's time to be publicly pro-life in word and deed to save lives, change minds, and really do the right thing for these kids and all families.
And if you had the chance to speak, now we've seen you go up to several Democrats, prominent Democrats in the past, and ask them about their stances, what they would call pro-choice. If you had the opportunity to speak directly with Joe Biden, what would you say to him?
Look, we're not afraid to influence the influencers, to address the politicians. We've gone and we've approached people like Bernie Sanders and others to say, why won't you speak up for life? Why won't you even just look out for pain-capable children at 20 weeks in utero? Why won't you look out for abortion survivors, kids that survive abortion procedures, to make sure they're given medical care? The reality is that the Biden-Kamala Harris administration is so pro-abortion. That is what the Democrat Party has done. They've pushed out any area for pro-life people in the Democrat Party, and they're really way farther than the American people are. Majority of Americans are against late-term abortions, against abortions after 20 weeks, against taxpayer funding for abortions. But yet, that's what Biden, Kamala, and the administration is pushing forward right now. So I would say to Joe Biden, I'd say to Kamala, look, we at Live Action, we have seen people change their minds on abortion. We've seen people like Dr. Anthony Levatino, who committed over 1,200 abortions, himself say, I'll never do one again. I'm pro-life. I understand what's happening here. We've seen people that have changed their minds that were also abortionists. They were women who've had abortions come out and speak about life. So that's what we're hoping. We got to work and hope and pray that Biden, Harris wake up to science, to medicine, to the reality of prenatal development and embryology. They claim to be compassionate. They claim to care about science, but yet they don't care for the most vulnerable among us. They don't acknowledge embryology and the fact that life is present at the moment of conception, and life is worth protecting. That's what we at Live Action and the pro-life movement are fighting for. life to be protected in society and in law, and we welcome them to join us in this and end the greatest human rights abuse of our time. We need to end abortion so that we can finally have true peace. Peace begins in the womb. The way we treat the most vulnerable, the most innocent among us is a direct reflection of our character as a nation. And the way that we're treating our preborn children and mothers in unplanned pregnancies is a travesty. We have to be the movement of nonviolence, of encouraging peace and healing and life, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
And now, what would you say to leaders of the Republican Party right now who have basically are about a 50-50 in the Senate and don't have the House and have lost the White House? What would you say to them in the coming year or two, coming up to 2022?
So right now, Republicans, some are standing strong on life. They're going to try and keep any existing pro-life legislation and standards in place. Things like the Hyde Amendment that are keeping taxpayer dollars from funding abortion domestically. You've got 200 Republicans just this week saying, we're going to fight to defend it. But they can't stop there. They have to keep working towards doing everything they can to protect preborn life and these moms from a very greedy, very well-funded abortion industry. Follow the money. Right now, the abortion industry is excited to have pro-abortion politicians like Kamala and Biden in the White House. They have funded their campaigns. They have gotten their politicians here against where the American people are. The American people are not as pro-abortion as this political left is. So I would say to any conservatives, any Republicans, any Democrats, people like Tulsi Gabbard that are willing to have a conversation on life, to do the right thing, speak up for life, force the conversation. Anyone voting on a piece of legislation that involves abortion should be demanded to define what an abortion is. When you know what the reality of an abortion is, it will change your life, it will change your mind. Right now, I guarantee we have members of Congress that are making decisions about abortion, and they have no idea that it involves the dismemberment, the starvation, the beheading of a baby that has nerve endings, fingernails, eyelashes, a heart beating, detectable at 6 weeks. That heartbeat begins at just 21 days. They have no idea. So if they're going to be pro-science, they're going to be pro-compassion, tolerant, inclusive, and loving, then they have to become pro-life.
Great. Well, listen, stay warm out here. And God bless you guys for being out in this crazy cold weather. Was
Thank
it like
you.
20 degrees out here?
This morning it was 25 degrees.
Gosh, and you got a wind chill. It's pretty significant over here as well. You're right by the river, so.
Thanks. Well, this has been the year of protest, and we're going to keep protesting abortion until abortion is done.
Great. Well, thank you so much. It's great seeing you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Matt.
Of course.
What's that? Allison from Live Action? Yeah.
Mickey because it's awesome.
And then
See,
put
look,
it
this
back?
guy likes your sign.
Oh, yeah.
He likes your sign. He likes your sign. And they
How you doing?
Is this like live?
Yeah.
Oh, hey everybody!
Woo! All right, guys, this is Matthew Perry of Breitbart News. Looks like we're wrapping up here. The pro-life activists are packing up after staying out here for quite a long time in this brutally cold weather.
Very cold.
Thank you all, guys, for tuning in and watching our Breitbart stream. We are here, right out here, right outside of DC, following these pro-life activists here, holding this event in place of and along with the March for Life, which is happening virtually mostly. So we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to follow us, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us, and hit the notifications bell on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere else you possibly can right now. Thank you so much for tuning in, and God bless you all.